Hi astronomers, this is Mr. Blanche, and this video is to try to help you come up with a solar system, a scale solar system project that will get you maximum points. So I've created a link to this solar system calculator, but if you just type in solar system calculator and go to the one for this think zone, you'll get to this one. There's a couple things that you need to come up with in order to get started. It would be great if you knew the GPS coordinates of where you were going to put the sun, and if you just would write those down. A good place to get those is Google Earth, and if I can get Google Earth to open up, if you put your cursor on top of something, like I'm going to do for Wilmington University, which is right here, down here at the bottom of the screen, is where your GPS coordinates will be displayed. Now, they move with the cursor, so if I wanted to put my system right here on this, those are the numbers that I would want to write down. Now, the problem is those numbers are in degrees, minutes, and seconds, and the calculator that we're going to use would like to have them in a different format. So I'll show you how to change those. The other thing that you need to know is how far it is between your sun and Pluto. And the solar system calculator is outstanding, except that it calculates in feet. So if you know what the distance is in miles, you're going to have to convert it to feet. And then the way that we do that is you multiply your number of miles by 5,280. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a 1,000-mile system. So I'm going to multiply that number by 1,000, and this is the number I come up with. And that number gets taken over here and placed in this box here. The other changes that you need to make is from this drop down menu select Pluto, and from this drop down menu select distance from the sun. So you've just told the calculator that you wanted to calculate Pluto, distance from the sun, of how many miles you have in your system converted to feet. And you can do other things like click US units for sure. I like to click minimum and maximums, and I like to click light travel times. Gives me a lot of information. And then you press calculate. And here comes your information. This is the scale of your system. These are the real distances over here, and these are the model distances. So these are the distances that you're going to use to build your system. And you can see in here there's an average distance, and there's a minimum and a maximum. And this all deals with the eccentricity of the orbit. In other words, how out of a circle it is. In my system, my sun is going to be 15,010 inches in diameter. Mercury is going to be 52 inches in diameter. Mercury is going to be 9.8 miles from my sun. Now, down here there's a spot where you can enter the GPS coordinates, but it wants them in decimal format. So there's a website I found that will allow you to convert your minutes, degrees, minutes, and seconds to decimal. And all you do is type them in here. And the only thing that you have to select here is that we're west longitude. And for west longitude, you'll notice it comes out to a negative number. So these numbers are the numbers that I've calculated, converted. You're only going to use 6 numbers past the decimal. Come back over to your solar system calculator. You put the numbers in down here, comma, after the latitude, negative sign, and then your longitude. And if you click show in Google Maps, it'll go through and it'll create this system for you somewhere on the Earth. And you can scroll in, and you can see that by converting those decimal points, I was able to get my system pretty well centered. Here's my sun, and you can see that's right on 213, and right here by where 273, there's 273, and there's 141. So it's right on, exactly on the spot where I wanted it to. And this works out great, and it gives me a range of distances for each of my planets. So I'm going to put a landmark on each of these spots. How do you measure these spots out? Well, you can use this system. You can also go to Google Earth, and you can use a measurement system on Google Earth. And let me see if I can demonstrate how to do this without messing up. Now my system's pretty big, so I'm going to scroll out. Actually, I'll keep it small and I'll just change the number. So instead of 9 miles on mine, I'm going to do 9/10 of a mile. So let's say I wanted to put a planet at 9/10 of a mile from Wilmington University right here. Up here on the toolbar next to the little planet is a ruler. Click that, it opens this up. From the drop down box I select miles, and it gives me this little square, and I take it over here and I click on Wilmington University, and it'll allow me to draw a line out, and I can draw this line out till I get to, I'm going to go 9.8 or 0.98 miles, so 1/10 of the distance that I showed on before, and it'll take me right to here. Now if I zoom in on that, it'll show me what that is, and that looks like it is Ruby Tuesdays. So in my solar system calculator, or my scale solar system, if I was doing, say, from Wilmington University to Dover, I would start off with the sun at Wilmington University, and I would come up with my first landmark would be Ruby Tuesdays. Now that would be a pretty lame system, so let me show you some systems that other students came up with, some projects that they came up with that worked out really well. This one was really well done. This was called Get Your Kicks on Route 66, and the student did an excellent job of setting out and creating a concept or a theme for his system. So he based it on Route 66, the historic highway, and he used a lot of creativeness. His co-pilot was his dog, and he went through and came up with good landmarks and did a really nice project. And I didn't know that there was a Wilmington, Illinois, but he was able to find that. So this one worked out real well. Another one that came out real well was this one here that was done from Delaware to California. And this was very simply done from their house to a place where they had visited. And you can see that they've done everything that they need to do here. They put in the scale diameter, the scale distances, the location. Here's an image of Mercury, and here's an image of the landmark. You know, this assignment was easy for this assignment to score maximum points. This is everything that they need to do. Came out really well. They had a good theme. They came up with a lot of national parks. So it was a really well done one. Let's take a look at one more. And this one was done a little bit differently, but it still worked out well. So they came up with their concept. They set up the scale of their system, gave me a lot of information, showed me their scale, laid out their landmarks in this format, which is a little bit different, but I was okay with it. They put all their information in here and they did their landmarks, and then they laid the system out like this. Now what they did that helped them get maximum points was they also did a second one where they ran it in a different direction. And they also included how long light would travel in their, how fast light would travel in their system, and how long it would take for light to travel through their system. So overall, very well. And I hope seeing some of these projects has helped you realize that, you know, this here, what you're seeing in front of you now, this is what your final project should be. Be creative. You know, you guys get to do so many research papers, and I'm really looking for you to try to pull some creativity out and come up with something that's really worthwhile. Using good imagery would make an excellent presentation. You're not going to present it, but it would still make an excellent presentation, and you know, has some tie to something that you've done in your life, or something that you like, or something that you're a fan of. So the possibilities are endless. I hope this video helps you out some. Good luck with this. Again, for this project is due in week 5, and I think I set it up to be due on the coming Tuesday. So hopefully this will help out. If you have any questions, please send me an email. Thank you.